All right, it's August 26th. Since my last update, I got the cement poured in around these additional supports for my floor joist header, and I got the 2x4 wall built for the end here, the east end of the master bedroom. So that's got 2 layers of insulation on it. That up there's just got one. I'll put some more insulation up there later. We also got this wall built. That's the second layer of insulation. I'm patching all this together so it looks like crap. So I'm ready to start doing some wiring, get my electrical outlets in here. And then once that's done, I'll put my 3rd layer of insulation on and then put some sheathing on top of that. Over here, we got this wall up and we got the 2nd layer of insulation on for this. And again, I'll do my electrical outlets and then put my 3rd layer insulation on and my sheathing, a lot like we got over here. All right, we got our 3rd layer of insulation on the wall. This over here actually looks pretty good because I had a new roll to work with instead of working with these scraps. This stuff here is actually R19. See right there, it says R19. So there's 2 layers of R10. So this wall here, I've got a R39 insulation factor for parts of it. The other parts here, this is the pink stuff's R13, the white stuff's R10. So, at the worst, I've got 30. And at the best, I've got 39. All right, it's 27 August 2025. We got the sheathing up on this wall, and we got some paint on that. And I had this beam across here to build a wall that I'm going to mount my mini split on. And I think I'm going to have to scrap that because this area was going to be my closet, which was going to be 3 feet wide, which I thought was plenty. But if I put 18-inch shelves in them, I have to walk in here sideways, and I'd really not rather do that. So I'm going to extend this wall out to here and make the closet basically 8 foot wide, which will give me lots of extra room and also allow me to be able to put my safe in there and be able to open the door. Because otherwise, there was no way to put the safe in there. This is like 42 inches wide, and with the door open, it's like, I don't know, 42, 45, 46 inches deep. There was no real way for me to put this in here with 4 foot dimensions. If I put it here, I've got a 4 foot sheet right there. I could put it there, but then to open the door, I've only have 3 feet, and I need 4 feet to open the door. So there was no way to do it. So I'm going to have to extend that out. Now it's not a big deal. I can just, take this board, move it over here. Actually, I'll just leave it there because I've already got my water lines running across there. So I'll just leave that board in place and put the new board over here. The only problem is I was planning on mounting my mini split here, and I have, with my 16-foot line set, I have enough to get out to my main unit. Moving this out another 4 feet, I don't have enough, so I'm going to have to extend that line set in order to be able to move this out here and get my mini split outside. The other thing I got done, I actually took my 2nd layer insulation off here because I needed to get over here and put a hole through the barn and run my 8 gauge wire out there to run my mini split. And then I also got some 6 gauge wire that comes over here. I had to drill a hole up through there and fish this down to this hole here, which is where my plug for my stove is going to go. So And I hate working with big, thick wire. It's a pain, especially when you got to feed it in one hole and get it out the other. But we managed to do it. And then, of course, all this wire was run all the way down to the far corner of the woodworking shop to my electrical panel way down there. So it's 60 feet to come down this way, and then it's another 50, well, it's 30 plus 12, 42 feet down to that end. So it was a 125 foot piece of 8-gauge wire, spool of wire to run down there to the stove, and then whatever distance that is. Well, it'd be 60 plus 42, so 82 feet to run down there to my connection to go outside for the mini split. So we got all that ran today. And then lastly, we got the AC disconnect run out here. It's wired to the wire that goes to the inside, and then the wire is going to come out here and we'll connect to the AC compressor unit out here once I get that put in. So that's my updates for today. All right, it is 2 September 2025. As you can see, I got some cement backer board. It's hardy backer board down there. And I put a couple pieces of tile. The problem I'm going to have, though, I've always got a problem with this barn build, is these walls are not square to each other. When I started putting down the backer board, I figured that out. You can see that this corner of this tile is in the corner. It's butted up against both walls. And I got a gap here and I got a gap here. So these two walls are at an angle that is greater than 90 degrees. So I'm gonna have a gap that gets bigger as it goes down towards this wall, and a gap that gets bigger as it goes down this end. And then I'll just have to, I guess, maybe cut some slivers of tile or something to fill it in, do something, but that's the problem that I've got with that right now. Anyway, trying to get these tiles in because we paid our $600 for the gas company to come out and put in a gas line. They're going to put that in hopefully right there. And the water heater is going to set over here in this corner. So I'm trying to get this tile down enough to cover, set underneath the stand and the water heater there, so that this part is done for when they come out and they put the water heater, hook the water heater up. Also put a trap out here because I got something digging holes in here. I assume it's an armadillo. It could be a skunk, but at any rate, you know, with this being open over here, as I'm tearing off this impromptu skirting that I put up here, it's much easier for them to get in here and root around and dig for grubs. So at any rate, hopefully trap those. And it's probably going to be sometime next summer, maybe where I get around putting a brick wall up along here, basically skirting this like it's a trailer with bricks. I think since last update, I also put in 3 8-foot lights out here. I'm going to have a wall that goes right here where it says wall, and my toilet will be over here along with a sink, and then my shower is going to be over here, and it's pretty much going to go probably from wall to wall and out about 3 or 4 feet. I'm going to have a pretty big shower, probably big enough to get a wheelchair in at some point, but at any rate, nice big shower. And I just have this hooked up with the extension cord for lights right now because I can't get my wire that I want in here because it's going to come from over there in that corner with that wad of wires over there across. And right now the safe and this pallet and this insulation stuff is all in the way of me doing that. So I just got it hooked up with the extension cord. I think since last update we sheathed this wall here. I got some paint going on. We ran out of one color, switched to another color, so we'll have to come back with that color and put a second coat over here to make it all match, which is fine.